Make it clear and honest. That awkward moment when you're on a first date. Because I have those things I meant to tell you, and now like some organization. If you say, hey, here are 5 types of people during.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
I just finished like a working session in the studio. I think something might be useful to someone else. So I've been using this application. Yeah, or should I have been using two. So the first one is called Flora. So I've been using this app to basically kind of so it's basically used based on the Pomodoro technique that I've mentioned in another video. I'm gonna link it somewhere. So this app and another one is called Timely, which is this. So these two apps basically are just helping me to be a little bit more accountable and to log in the hours that I stay in the studio in a more focused state, because I've noticed for the past year in quarantine I have been in the studio the whole day but not doing much because I'm not really focused. Like, I still watch things, but I used to watch things and just get distracted or just decide to do something else, or sometimes even feel guilty about the time that I spend in the studio and feel like maybe it's time for me to I don't know, update my website or launch this blog that I've always said that I wanted to launch, or edit a YouTube video. So I think now putting like the priority on my artwork instead of all the other things that come with it. Like the YouTube channel should always be kind of secondary, even though that I really want to stick to a schedule and just have a video up every week. I managed to do that for the month of February, I think, but I kind of fell off. So I'm trying not to make it into a gigantic task and to do what I can do and still make it enjoyable, and maybe changing a few things, like for example making this vlog style video that I felt that every time I feel like about an artist making a studio vlog, I just feel like there's so many things included, like different angles and whatnot. But so I decided to just use this camera that is just really easy for me to use, and I can just switch it around and I'm not obliged to film the whole setting. So usually I try to film at the beginning so it doesn't distract me, and then when I get into the mood, then I switch off the camera and yeah, and then turn on like the app, and then it can calculate the time that I'm taking to do whatever. So I feel this has been helping, because the app I can I don't know, maybe say I'm gonna work for 25 minutes or for 1 hour, and then I get a break, because I realize the break is really important, like the break that I'm taking now. So now it's like 3 p.m. and throughout the whole day I've been working, but I've been feeling a little bit under the weather. So I'm heating this udon soup or ramen that I made like 2 days ago. Yes, hopefully after that I'm gonna feel a little bit better. I'm trying not to pressure myself too much, because I don't want my time at the studio to be something that can cause me anxiety, or something that can just, the pressure of it is gonna prevent me from coming back. So the idea is to just start working, hopefully by using these apps, and log in the time that I actually was focused, because I do realize if I just stay the whole day in the studio, it doesn't really mean always that I'm doing something productive. Today's the first, actually yesterday is the first day that I started to be more intentional about my time in the studio. So yesterday is the first day of me I don't know, taking the baby steps of just working maybe even 25 minutes and taking a break. And this break needs to be a meaningful break, like either play with Gavin, my cat, or to lay down in the hammock or go for a walk. Another practice that I feel has been very helpful for me is to use my journal. So I try to journal every day. I do usually try to do it in the morning in my hammock, or sometimes I do it here, so I don't try to be too strict with it. But because in the morning now that it's getting warmer, so I go outside with my cat and I sit there and just journal. And most of the time all those things that I feel prevent me from doing anything creative or artistic, or even just enjoying my day even if I don't do anything creative, because you know, the most important thing is not the creative thing that I'm actually doing, because I have to take care of myself as the person first. Yeah, so I don't want to put myself in this trap of always thinking that I need to be doing something creative or artistic all the time, because or I need to justify what I'm doing. I don't need to always justify myself and have every single minute of my day to be useful. Maybe at some point I'm gonna reach that, but I don't want to put this pressure or myself, because then the enjoyment or the fun aspect will be gone. So after a year of just overwhelming myself with too many things, thinking that this is going to help me artistically, I don't feel it has helped me, but it confirmed to me what doesn't work, or maybe it's working for other people but it's not working for me. Because the thing is that I need to realize that people are in different stages of their lives. Being more productive by filling your day with every single thing that you can think of, and this is what I've been doing, hasn't been helpful. And also I need to be aware that we are in a pandemic. I need to also take the time to rest and to really acknowledge that this is not normal, and you know, I need more sun and more nature, since I'm indoors all the time and in a basement apartment and live by myself. I'm trying to rest, which is a concept that's not always like, sometimes it's a little bit foreign, but I think resting and taking the time to consider how I feel about certain things, or kind of sit in my feelings, more of like shrugging off my feelings and just using my head that, okay, I need to, at 8 p.m. I need to do this.
People knew me by that time. I was going to change my name to a name that nobody knew me by. I remember thinking, gee, I wish I had a Gloria Allred to take care of me. And then I thought for a second, I realized, wait a minute, I'm Gloria Allred.
Gloria Allred is her name. She represents women with high-profile claims to having been wrong.
She could perform, she could be bold, she could be beautiful, she could be pregnant, and she could be all the former girlfriend of Scott Peterson said she was testifying for the prosecution during his murder trial. Now, Amber Frey has hired an attorney, Gloria Allred.
Gloria invented. If you're a woman and you have been sexually harassed or assaulted by a powerful man, there are not many people you can go to in the phone book. You go to the person you see on. The problem for Gloria is sometimes it backfires. Feel proud. You feel proud. You should feel proud. You should feel good.
I've definitely experienced kind of the blowback of adversaries that we're filing this lawsuit. Why it matters even for the public to know about this lawsuit. There's nothing shameful.
A very large part of our practice is employment litigation. Somebody was fired from their job, they were sexually harassed, they were discriminated against. The vast majority of those people are...
That she quietly, confidentially settled to the great benefit of her client. She does a great job whether you like it or not. The question is, how do her clients like it?
You know what she's trying to do? Turn women into men!
We don't think that our daughters should have to trade sexual favors in order to get a raise.
Why not? We did.
Well, you never know. How did we get on this show?
I want to see you in my dressing room after the show.
I know.
She talked about sexual harassment when nobody wanted to talk about it.
So how do you feel?
I feel good. I feel changed. I feel like I've people's balls, you know, and she's a true hardcore feminist. She's righteous. And what this whole Cosby experience has taught me, that women are still so devalued.
It looks bad, Bill. If this is to be tried in the court of public opinion, I gotta say, all of the information that's out there kind of points to guilt.
Rescues him by asking him to look at the crucifix, and he shot him in the side. Upstairs, they could hear the sounds of a party. A gramophone was playing. Felix explains that his wife had guests and that she would come down when they'd left. Prince Felix said, "While we're waiting, let's have some cakes and some wine." The cakes were rose-flavored, Rasputin's favorite, and put Rasputin to his palace with the promise of a midnight passage. The breaking point came on International Women's Day. Thousands of women flooded the streets to protest, joining forces with striking workers.
By the next day, 250,000 people were marching down Nevsky Prospect. They were smashing up the shops and carrying banners that said things like, "Stop the war," "Feed the children," and most worryingly to the Romanovs, "End autocracy." Alexandra wrote to Nicholas of a hooligan movement in the streets. Nicholas commanded the local garrison to put a stop to the protests, and orders were issued to use all necessary force. But thousands of people on the streets were met by soldiers who followed their orders and fired at them. But that night, when the troops went back to their barracks, they began to ask themselves whether they could face another day of shooting at their fellow citizens who were desperate for food.